So we're going to talk about the interview, the couple days leading up to the interview, and especially like the night before and the morning of the interview. Um, so you might fly in. Some people fly in, directly the day before. I would always encourage flying in a couple days before if you can, if you have the time to spare, because I like to get acquainted with the city. Look around the city a little bit. It gives you more to talk about. Um, if the school, if you can access the school, take a little walk around the school and see inside of it ahead of time. It'll just make you more comfortable on interview day, I think. And so, of course, the night before, you're going to want to get good sleep. Uh, get up early and eat breakfast, whatever your normal morning routine. Remember, it's going to be a long day, so you're probably going to want to eat breakfast and take a nice little walk. Just get moving. Make sure you're up. I know it takes me about 2 hours to wake up on any given day, so I made sure I got up plenty early and got a good walk in ahead of time. And then it, it's something that anybody would tell you, but just express confidence. Just be confident in yourself. If you've been watching any of my other videos, at this point you should feel confident that you are a strong applicant, that you've prepared well for this. Because if you've been doing the things that I talk about in the other videos, I can assure you you're going to be ahead of the curve there. You know your stuff. You know the answers. Nothing's going to trick you. You've practiced with kind of getting blindsided by new questions. So you've learned how to adapt. You know your response format. There's nothing you should be worried about. And then so get to the school. You feel confident, and you should pretend that every single person at the school is evaluating you that day. Don't take anybody don't take anybody for granted. Don't think that you're above anybody there. Be gracious, be smiling. You're put on a smile the entire day. It might look kind of dumb, but you should be just always think about how happy you are to actually be in this spot. I mean, this is something you've worked for a long time. Be happy that you're there, and just try to really enjoy the day and stay as relaxed as you can. Before the interview, there's probably, like the actual specific interviews, there's probably going to be no way that you can really keep yourself too calm, because you're probably going to be pretty nervous and excited. But yeah, do what you can just to be happy and enjoy your day. And so it can be, I mean, something, as I was told, something as simple as, if you see trash sitting on the ground. I think this is just a good example of how you should conduct yourself. See trash sitting or like laying on the ground, go and pick that up and put it in the trash can. Who knows? You might be being watched by the dean when that happens, and they say, "Hey, who's that?" That it's kind of a stretch there, but something like that can happen. Just being courteous, doing the small things, saying please and thank you. I mean, this goes back to preschool. Just it, don't slough off at any time of that day. That's the last step in the whole process. Be as perfect as you can that entire day, and you just know that when you're actually in the interview, you're always going to have regrets. You're never going to walk out and be like, "Oh, that went absolutely perfectly. There's nothing that I could have said better." You'll be kicking yourself, probably saying, "Oh, yeah, I sounded like I didn't really sound like I knew what I was talking about when I answered that question." But it probably went better than you expected. So yeah, don't really worry about that. And then one kind of last piece of advice that I have, it's not really commonly practiced, I'd say, but it's something that in a lot of other fields they do, and that is to reach out to people ahead of time before you go to the school, and don't overdo it. Don't be don't go crazy about it, but you can say you look into the research at the school, and you see, oh, they do such and such research. Maybe, hey, I want to go into I want to be a neurosurgeon or something like that, and they have this awesome neurosurgery research going on. Feel free to reach out and maybe contact somebody that works in the lab and say, hey, I'm going to be interviewing. I'm going to be there a couple days early, just kind of lounging around, checking out the city. Would you mind if I came in and just got to see your lab and just kind of pick your brain about your research that you're doing, and nothing about uh, you're not insinuating that you want help from them in any way, but you're just saying, hey, I'm really curious about this. For one, maybe you end up scoring an awesome research spot even before you get into the school, and two, you have something to talk about in your actual interview. You can say, oh, well, I was here yesterday. I met up with so and so. They run this research, and I think that would be really interesting because this entire interview process, you want to show them that, hey, I really want to be here. I'm not. The whole thing is they're trying to weed out, or do you really want to be here, or are you just applying to this school because it's another school and you clearly just want to go to medical school? So if it's research that actually genuinely seems interesting to you, reach out to those people. The worst thing that happens is they say, no, I usually don't meet up with applicants or something. But I mean, nothing bad's going to happen. Don't pester them for their time, and like demand meeting up or like taking up large portions of their time. Just reach out and say, I'd like to see the lab if that's possible. I'm just really interested in your research. And then ahead of time, don't blow it. Like, look into their research and like read some of their papers so that you know what they're looking into. Maybe you like the lab, maybe you don't. That's kind of really relevant at that point. But it's just, it's one, it can be a talking point, and two, you're getting yourself excited about the school. And that's something that will be conveyed in your actual interview. So, do that or don't. That's my opinion. And definitely don't go overboard. Don't be pestering people to school by any means. That's probably the last thing you want to do. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say right now about the interview. I'll probably go into a lot more depth about actually being in your interviews and how to go about that, because that's quite a skill to work on. So I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you next time.